p.m. on Mondays on Cambridge Community Television, Channel 66. Tonight on Cafe Cabaret, we continue our series of Wrong Hero recordings with the Wrong Heroes featuring in Detritus. Right now.
I'm the wrong hero. Welcome to Detritus. Detritus, which is basically a bunch of old, crumpled up rocks. Hello. How are you? Good to see you. How's the wife and kids? Keeping the back 40? All spruced up? How's the folks? Good. Now get out of here. Hi, I'm the wrong hero. And this is Detritus. Come in. Come and see herein, bitte. Entree, voulez-vous? No? Okay. Fine. Great. Who needs you? Go away. Because I'm the wrong hero, and I'm here not to explore tired old concepts, but to explore the tired new concepts, which you never hear about. I'm the wrong hero. I'm faster than the speed of light because I'm afraid of the dark.
Oh, get a job, Francis!
I have several jobs. Of course, my most important one is total domination of the planet Earth. I am not trying to hypnotize you into becoming my Earth slaves. I am not trying to hypnotize you into becoming my Earth slaves. I'm the wrong hero. I'm also faster than the speed of sound because it's the only way I ever get any sleep around here. And I'm in love with the spotlights because I'm afraid of my own shadow. Gotcha. I want the government to outlaw me. So I can be sold for $20 a gram in front of housing projects. People say I have my grandfather's smile. That's because I'm wearing his dentures. I had some time to kill on the way over here, so I asked a Scientologist who L. Ron Hubbard was. I've completely lost my faith in science. I used to have a subscription to Scientific American. Now I have a subscription to Superstitious Caveman. This month's issue, dated August 6th, 1 million BC, has articles called Fire, Bad, and Sacrificing Your Eldest Son to Propitiate the Angry Sky God, Some Do's and Don'ts. Like I said before, this is Detritus. Hi. What would you do if Jesus came back?
Let's say hi.
Yeah, me too. You know, I'd be really humble and I'd be really in awe, you know, but I think what I'd do is I'd walk up to him and say, "Hi, Lord. Can I pick the fleas out of your beard? We're out of communion wafers." Just thought you'd like want to play along. That's right. Uh-oh. Here comes some prey. Ready, Earth meat? I missed. Crack a smile. Oh, that's good. I have a 1978 Volkswagen. It just turned 16. What do you think you're doing? Got him. You're right, I do. I hope they last until tonight. I have a 78 Volkswagen. It just turned 16. Now it's got its own driver's license. But it can't go out after dark for another year. I went from 0 to 60 in 8 seconds. And now I'm 97 years old. Gotcha. People say I'm a schizophrenic, but I say it takes two to know one. I say I'm of two minds about that. Hey, you know what? I may be a schizophrenic, but I sleep with a different woman every night.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's the same woman. She has a multiple personality disorder. Hey, when you take a schizophrenic woman out for a date, do you ask her to split the check?
Oh, sure.
Hey, why not?
And she said yes.
Yes, in fact, she pays both shares.
You got it.
Because she's schizophrenic. Excellent.
I asked for a wife.
Yeah, but it's good if you leave the tip yourself. No need in pushing your luck.
One for each week.
That's right. You need 6 pairs of socks, one for each day of the week, and on Sunday you go barefoot. And the same thing's true of women, too, I guess. Let's see. You need one who will take care of children, one who's really good in bed, one who can wash the clothing, one who can drive a car, especially if it's a stick shift. Let's see.
And then you have 2 more extra.
Yeah.
You're going to fight together.
Right.
They fight themselves and leave us alone. You know?
Right. They'll fight among themselves and give the other 4 something to do when they're not watching television. Exactly. And the one that is really good in bed, she also dresses up really nice so you can show her off to all your friends and stuff.
She's young too.
And she's very young, you know, she's like,
Young,
well, I was thinking more like 12. So 13's too old because I'm superstitious. No, only kidding, only kidding. I think 16 is about as young as I'm willing to go now, and even that is kind of dangerous.
Yeah, 16 might work.
That's very dangerous, you know, I mean, you get in a lot of trouble. I mean, let's just say 18, but she looks 16.
I think I would take a woman about 70 years old. Shall have a love of wife, mother, grandmother, and all love in one day.
There you go, the whole family in one woman.
You got it.
Exactly, wow.
What else do you want then? No?
Yeah, really, then what would you need?
And that would be satisfaction guaranteed.
Yep, or your money back.
No money back. For 30 days.
It would be more like stupefaction guaranteed.
Yeah, some women, they like cars, you know?
Yeah.
Old cars.
Uh-huh.
You put money into it, you
Yeah.
take the car,
Yeah.
you can hear the money in the car, the money never comes out.
That's right.
That's right. So some women are like that. They take your money, they look
Right.
good, they shake it, you can hear your money inside, When you want your money back, you get nothing back, you get kicked in the ass.
Here's what happens too, you know, like you spend, it is like a car. You spend $700, it lasts another 3 weeks, and then the motor dies, and that's it. You know, I mean, what can you do about that? You give it a new clutch, you know, every week, so to speak.
And you know, for a man, you know, to have a woman, you have a mistress. It's just like having a spare tire on the car.
Yeah, now you're talking. And in fact, you have a girlfriend in another city, it's like having AAA. You know, if one relationship breaks down, just call AAA and they come up and get you, you know? Hey, that's really cool. We're getting a lot done here today.
And try not to break relations with the women. Women are like false money, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes in the dark you can use them, you know?
Yeah. Try not to break off one relationship until you have another one waiting on the dock, you know? Yeah, sure. I mean, that makes sense. It's like quitting your job, you know? You don't quit till you got another one lined up.
That's what he does.
Oh, cool. Well, yes, let's see. Women are like jobs. Women are like cars. What aren't women like? I don't know.
What is the difference between a bicycle and a woman?
I don't know.
On a bicycle, you first pump and then jump. But on a woman, you first jump and then pump.
Ah.
It's a little different.
Yes, there's very little difference indeed.
Yeah.
Well, you know what women say? They say a woman without a man is like a fish without a bicycle.
Wow, never heard that before.
Well, you've heard it first, right here.
Everything is first in your life sometimes, you know?
That's what they say, you know? It's like amazing. Simply phenomenal. One time I went into a bank and I got really wasted and a nickel fell out of my pocket. And I said, "Get back in there, little brother. You're with the big boys now." He's just mad because he can't use my camera anytime he asks, you know. It's like, what do you want from me? God, life is hard. Here we got the staff here watching. It's really cool.
Yeah.
That's togetherness, I'll tell you.
That's true.
Well, so, if you've been sitting around all night eating tacos, then head on out to Ganja Bell. You know, working in a restaurant is kind of like being a slave, you know, except for one thing. I bet you Uncle Tom and Kunta Kinte never got to mix Pepsi, orange soda, and carrot juice and drink it till they got sick. I'll bet you. You're nodding your head like you know what I'm talking about. Well, shoot, what can I say? You know why employers prefer veterans?
What?
Veterans have guns. It's like, I'm sorry, but I don't think we can hire you. What do you mean you can't hire me? Well, we don't want to hire you to work at a nursery school. We're afraid you might scare the children. Scare the children? I killed the last man that said that. What do you mean, scare the children?
Save the children.
You know, I went on a job interview, and one of the questions they asked me was, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I said, I have to think about that for a minute. Okay, I know. Where do I see myself in 5 years? I'll tell you where I see myself in 5 years. I see me in a stretch limo with a foxy whore on either arm, drinking Courvoisier from a Dixie cup, and my fists dripping with "fuck you, buddy." And I see you standing on a street corner, drinking a bottle of Aquavelva with snot on your ragged, greasy coat, shaking your fist as I leave you in my dust. And they said, well, we were going to hire you for an entry-level position, but I think you have what it takes to be management.
All right.
Yeah. So I got the job. Ooh, boy. Hey, what's your favorite music? Who's your favorite pop singer?
Beethoven.
Beethoven. Wow. Do you drink Beethoven's Fifth when you're out visiting him? Oh, what's your least favorite music? Who's your least favorite musical star?
Oh, you thought?
Who?
Mel.
Nell?
Which are Joseph?
Hey, Joseph.
I don't know.
Oh, no, he doesn't want to talk to me. He's mad. If only I could, like, tell him this camera is just about, you know, finished, kaput.
Kaput.
Yeah. Lieber Augustin, alles kaputt. Well, anyway, you know
What
what?
song?
Huh?
Lieber Augustin.
Augustin, Augustin, Lieber Augustin, alles kaputt. Money gone, honey gone, money gone, honey gone. What's that, half of football?
Yeah.
Or is it Dorian?
Oh, you like round thing, you know?
What is that? A coconut?
Yeah.
You're eating a coconut?
Yeah. It's not my head.
Jeez. I'll tell you. What is this, Tahiti? What are we? What are we, Polynesians here? Boy, it's wonderful. Well, all you need is some breadfruit and mangoes and you're solid, man, you know? Wow, that's great. Whoever thought that a coconut would be edible? He must have been a pretty brave man, you know?
Yeah.
Looks good. Yep. Yes, sir. That delicious meat, that tasty oil, everything about a coconut says yummy. Can I have a piece?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I'm going to come right down and grab me one.
How is it?
It's a good coconut. It's not a great coconut.
It's not good.
It's a little less than ripe. I have a feeling. Good. Tasty. I do an Elvis impression, but I do Elvis in his off-stage routine.
Elvis?
Elvis, I do Elvis when he's not on stage.
Elvis Presley.
Listen.
Elvis Presley, yeah?
You do Elvis.
Yeah, I do Elvis.
How often have you done it?
You have? Well, this is Elvis off stage, right? Here it goes.
What do you think of Michael Jackson?
I'm sick of hearing about Michael Jackson and the nauseating Jackson clan. What is it with these people? Why can't they just, like, I don't know, disappear?
Listen.
What?
What did Michael Jackson tell O.J. Simpson when O.J. was worried about his kids?
I don't know what.
He said, O.J., don't worry about it. I'll take care of your kids.
Oh, then he will. Well, here's Elvis off stage. Shit my pants.
Wow.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna do an impression now. It's water spiraling down a drain.
Yeah.
Here it goes.
Wow.
Pretty impressive, huh? Now this word from the Taoist Chemical Corporation. Here at the Taoist Chemical Corporation, we never pollute the same river twice. You ever go into the food co-op or bread and circus? You ever go in those natural food stores? They always say the same thing. Paper or plastic? And I say,
Pour it in my hands. What do I look like? Give it to me in a monkey's paw.
because I don't care. And you go in there and you ask for a Granny Smith apple and they say, I'm sorry, but here we refer to them as Elder Smith apples. Yeah, you give any good pickup lines? When you're out in bars trying to meet women? I say stuff like, my nickname is Death Breath, or I'm 37 and a half years old, or here's the killer. I like to give my cat a bath with my tongue.
Listen,
What?
what the fuck happened to you?
What happened to me? What do you mean?
What happened to your eyes?
My eyes? What's wrong with my eyes? One of them's the size of a pinprick and the other one's the size of a dinner plate. That's the way they always are. There's nothing wrong with my eyes. You know what the Bible says? Where there is no vision, the people perish.
Wow.
But the makers of smoked eyeglasses make a fortune. You know what I think? I think the American people are a computer in which the media has planted a stupidity virus. That's just one man's opinion. I'm writing my unauthorized autobiography, which is called The Story of My Life, written by my worst enemy, myself, which is why I refuse to publish it. And I'm writing a book on feminism. It's called Don't Expect Me to Have the Proper Gender Attitude. Well, this about ends. The Wrong Hero, starring in Detritus. Before I go, I'd like to remind you that I'm the wrong hero. I like to eat condiments. Liquid nitrogen really cracks me up. The FBI really bugs me. For Christmas, I really want Santa's false teeth. If you ask me what rules, I say a yardstick rules. I believe that having lots of brothers and sisters is sinful. And my all-time hero is Father Time. I like you. Even though you're apes on a treadmill who sweat all day for a lousy banana pellet, then climb into a fart sack when the lights go out. I'm the wrong hero, but you can call me Tommy the Green Ranger. I have a question. What dogs are best to guard me treasure? Maybe. And now, some of my simple homespun and homely philosophy. Just when you think you've seen everything, you get cataracts. When you're old enough to offer wise advice, you're too decrepit to set a bad example. You're not allowed to take drugs until you're too old to enjoy them. I believe television is chewing tobacco for the eyes. I believe that I am nothing, and that the team and the core are everything. One time, I met an astronaut, and I punched him. And let me tell you, when I punched one of the astronauts, I felt as though I had slugged a god. Tony Bennett's coming out with a remake of I Left My Heart in San Francisco. It's called I Left My Heart Medicine in San Francisco. Our sponsors for today were Colonial Cologne. It smells like a yolk. Hi, I'm the wrong hero. Alien spokesman. I've enslaved so many Earthmen I can't keep track of them. I seek to manipulate the white power structure rather than challenging it. And I am a metaphor for America. I don't know what a metaphor is, but I like the sound of it. I'm the wrong hero, and this has been Detritus.
the Middle East. Can't get taxi, get a piece. Always got a bit hard to you. Swinging and singing and singing and singing and yeah. Swinging at the Middle East. Cool. Hi, I'm the Wrong Hero, and this is Detritus. I'd like to welcome an honored guest from the West Bank, Mr. E-Talk. Got his last name. Shazim? Well, never mind, doesn't matter. And Alex, thanks for being here. And Jeffrey, and Sharon, and John, and I guess that about Corey. Wasn't that the name of the little kid on the television show Julia?
You're right.
Did you ever get teased for that?
Yeah, I did actually.
Your mother is a Negro nurse with the Vietnam War. Unbearably cute, hangs out with little Irish kids.
You see, I like to relate to all of you because I have an abiding concern for the average man.
That he doesn't step on my toes.
Or get in my way. I won't insult your intelligence, just your physical appearance. By the way, where are your masters? Do they know you're here?
Instead of picking cotton and working in a turpentine factory down in Arkansas for sweat wages?
I'm the Wrong Hero. I'm oxymoronically non-contradictory. I'm apathetically engaged. I'm frivolously serious. I'm altruistically misanthropic. I'm incomprehensibly clear. I am myopically focused. I am positively negative, deviously sincere, intently oblivious, ruthlessly scrupulous and scrupulously ruthless. I'm omnicompetently unskilled and omnisciently ignorant. I'm desperately casual, irretrievably repudiable. I'm ingenuously sly, ingeniously unresourceful, sympathetically callous. I'm indolently active, violently inert. I'm thoughtlessly philosophical. I'm sharply dull and dully sharp. I believe in sacrificial hedonism and Dionysian stoicism. I am a materialistic Taoist. I am a fighting Quaker. I am a fucking Roman Catholic monk. I am a junkie aesthete. I was the stupidest genius at Harvard. I was the smartest graduate of the City University of New York. I'm historically current, nostalgically quotidian. I am old news. I blow hot and cold for $20 a pop. See me after the show. I am a firm believer in the stimulating boredom of a single-party democracy. I am an active placebo. I believe in conservative anarchy. I was the first man in my family to menstruate. That's because I wanted to be on the cutting edge of bitching for a change. And I'll tell you something else too. I would never dream of using my mother's tampon. At least not until she was done with it. I wanted to join the Optimists Club, but I knew they wouldn't let me. I'm a Republican socialist, a Democratic fundamentalist, a radical centrist, a nihilistic animist. I am a cross between Pear Ubu and Donald Duck. I got red feet and I don't give a fuck. And if it rains, I'll walk home. And my motto is, I think I can. I think I can. Fail. because I'm the wrong hero. I'm pushy and laid back. Here's a demonstration.
I am the wrong hero, the most intelligent comedian in the universe.
Everything is everything, man.
I talk faster than average, so stupid people will think that I'm so smart they can't understand what I'm saying.
Hey, mellow out already, okay? I am the winner of several awards, all of them self-designated. I know a lot of people who are so famous, you've never heard of them, and neither have I. I am a great believer in the trite tour de force. That's because stupid people reject you if you're not as trite as they are, and smart people think you're a fool if you're not as pushy as they are. By the way, this is my greatest performance, but it ain't much. I refuse to succumb to the tyranny of the cheap laugh. But I'll put my fist in my mouth for a nickel. Let me tell you a little something about myself. My girlfriend's an existentialist. I gave her a disengagement ring. By the way, stepped on a nail yesterday. Fortunately, it was a fingernail. Unfortunately, I was in my bare feet. Fortunately, it was my fingernail. Unfortunately, it dated from 1979. How do I know? That's when I moved into my apartment, and it was the last day I cleaned it. My apartment came furnished, which is great, you know, because I wouldn't want to have to go out and buy cockroaches. Big? Yes. Yes, they are. They drink flavored seltzers. They're going upscale. They don't call the garbage in my kitchen garbage. They refer to it as designer filth. They have a little sign tacked up over my bedroom.
Welcome to Vermin Court. Bedbugs and silverfish, please use the side entrance.
And now, I'd like to sing you a little song, with perhaps a little dance to go along with it. Does anybody have a harmonica? No? Didn't think so. What is this, a blues jam? I'll pretend to play harmonica. I'll also pretend to be a dog scratching at the side of somebody's door waiting to be let out because he has to piss. Here's the song.
A baby face of Jesus Christ, because I live, a beat the right.
That's all I got right now. And now this word for Christianity. Say, pagans, tired of painting your bodies blue and worshiping oak trees?
Try Christianity.
Christianity is the only religion which gives you three gods in one. Do I hear a nascent clap?
You want us to clap?
Well, you can applaud.
Applause is a B and a standing ovation is an A. Okay? My professor's sitting back there, and he's grading you. So far, it doesn't look too good. And now this word for Pope Light. Pope Light. Slimmer than the fat pontiffs Catholics worship. You got your own Pope now, baby. And now, John the Baptist for no load. Friends, do you eat locusts? Do locusts stain your teeth? Try this simple test. Breathe into the shroud of Turin. If it turns brown, you need no look. The Locust Eater's tooth polish comes in regular and gall and wormwood flavors. No look. Anybody here own a Saturn car? Do people have a Saturnalia inside of a Saturn car? I often wondered about that. You know, a car is simply nothing more than a robot sleigh, a whorehouse on wheels, and a petting zoo, all rolled up into one. And what I don't get is the Saturn car. Who were the marketing geniuses who decided to call it Saturn? What were they doing? Sitting around going, shall we call it Mars? Too warlike. Cold War's over. Should we call it Venus? Too suggestive. AIDS, HIV. I know. We'll call it Saturn. Devours his own children. Saturn. That's a great name for a car. I got the ad all wrapped up. Here, son. Here's a set of keys to your first new car. Gee, thanks, Dad. Saturn. When you don't want to have to support your children for the rest of your life. Has anybody, you guys are like in your early 30s. You look like you might be in your late 20s. Has anybody called you sir yet? Has anybody ever called you sir?
No, sir.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because you know what sir means? It means fatso. Switch it around. Fatso, yes, fatso. You know, it's like do fatso with love. If you go through the sky, I will give you the sky. To fatso with love. With love. That's what sir means, okay? So next time someone calls you sir, say, I am not. I use Ultra Slim Fast. What's the ugliest word in the English language?
Patrick Ewing.
Patrick Ewing? That is pretty damn ugly. How about phlegm? Or, my favorite, fart sack. But I think the ugliest word in the English dictionary is bachelorette. Bachelorette. What is this, a cigarette with a BA? Bachelorette. I don't know. That's going nowhere. You know what I was doing during Woodstock? I'll tell you what I was doing during Woodstock. I was sitting at home in my underwear with big holes in the bum, eating unbuttered popcorn, letting my hamster bite my eyelids, watching The Birdman of Alcatraz, the NBC movie of the week, and wishing I could hitchhike 500 miles to a place I never heard of to be in with 500,000 sweating, farting hippies. Soaked with rain, a soggy bacchanalia. But I couldn't hitchhike 500 miles. I was only 13 years old. So I watched The Birdman of Alcatraz. Does anybody know what his real name is?
Yeah, Gilbert.
That's great. No, Robert Stroud. Somehow not as colorful as The Birdman of Alcatraz. And now, on organ, Robert Stroud. And now, on organ, The Birdman of Alcatraz! Let's see your lighters, Boston! One time I was in a bank, and I felt a fart coming on, and I said to myself, get back in there, little brother. You're with the big boys now. Because we all know that Freud equates money with shit. Or maybe we don't all know that. Well, I'm telling you. So next time you see Scrooge McDuck wallowing in his money bin, you know exactly what conclusion to draw. Why do you think he never got married? Speaking of shit, I think shit is an ugly word. I prefer to call it something nice, like brown monuments to a healthy appetite. You know, that's something that's looking on the bright side. And you know what my greatest triumph is? After I go to the bathroom and flush the toilet, and as the water is swirling down the bowl, I like to get one little piece of toilet paper, and just as the last of the water is swirling down, I like to hit it dead center. And then I go, yes, yes. That really makes my day. Yes, it is true. And John would know. Many's the time he's had the video surveillance camera on me. You know, you gotta watch out for people on drugs. People on drugs notice everything. Everything. Nice work. It glitters. Marshmallow! Here's my message to the children. Kids, stay in school. Because we don't want you around here. Okay? I went to my high school reunion, and I went to see where I had carved my initials years and years ago. But the gym coach was wearing a toupee. Just one of those things. I applied to Penn State. I didn't get in, but I ended up going somewhere very similar. State Penn. I graduated from college with a 4.0 average. Of course, that was my blood alcohol content. But hey, no. At least I can say I was a 4.0. Here's another public service announcement. Don't drink and drive. It's hard to puke and steer. I work hard at my job. In fact, at my job, I do the work of two. The Menendez brothers. Wrote my resume the other day. I've been working on it for a while, cutting it down, you know, getting it all on one page. So I had this sort of burnt umber crayon, and I sort of held it in my fist and I scrolled. This is my resume. Get your greasy hands off it, you filthy little man. I didn't get the job. So I went to the unemployment office and I filled out my unemployment form in 3 different colors of ink. And now I got disability. So I'm happy. Oh, I did my laundry last week. My laundry's like my sex life. Happens twice a year, weighs 200 pounds, costs $20, takes 12 hours.
It's all washed up.
That's right. All washed up. Which is not a bad description of my career at this point. I believe that inside of every thin woman is a fat man struggling to get out. Me. You know, all my friends are having children now, and they're always bragging about how cute they are, how smart they are, how their shit smells like roses. What do I have to brag about, you know? Oh, you should see my kid. She's just starting to walk. Oh, you should see that handkerchief I ejaculated into last night. It smells like a petunia. You know, masturbation isn't so bad. As a matter of fact, Nintendo is the poor man's masturbation. Or no, masturbation is the poor man's Nintendo. Okay. I was so shocked by that unaccustomed burst of laughter. Anybody see Dennis the Menace? Well, it's very interesting, even if you haven't seen it. In archetype, the man upstairs, or the man in the upper berth, is the interfering symbol for the superego, which prevents the newlyweds from getting it on in the lower berth. In just this way, Dennis the Menace might be referred to as the man downstairs, a personified id who meddles in the quasi-sexual affairs of sexually active and post-sexually active adults, like Mr. Wilson. But keep that in mind when you rent the video. Mr. Wilson! Mr. Wilson! I almost shot my load. Shut your fucking pie trap, you midget punk! And now this word for great classics recombined. Huckleberry Finnegan's Wake. River Run, past Paps and Nigger Gyms, leads us by the circumlocution locution to Aunt Polly's house. Ooh, he said that word, Pap. I'm telling. And also, Hanna-Barbera meets Sophocles in the Yogi Cycle. Yogi Rex, Boo Boo at Colonus, and Scooby-Doo meets Electra. I'm going to kill my father. Oh! A lot of people have compared O.J. Simpson and his saga to Othello by William Shakespeare. Well, if Othello had happened today and it were reported on the front pages of the New York Post, I think the headline would be something like, Jealous Moor slays Desdemona in snot rag snafu. Iago held for questioning. Just a thought. Any rock musicians here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Have any of you sold out yet? Have any of you even brought in yet? You know, I don't get people who accuse rock musicians of selling out. Accusing a rock musician of selling out is like accusing a fire of being hot. I mean, you know, that's the whole point, isn't it? You know, popular music, right? Which reminds me of Chubby Checker. You know how Chubby Checker got his name? It seems as though the wife of the president of Cameo Parkway Records noticed the career of Fats Domino and said, what should we call our new singing star? Fats Domino. I know, we'll call him Chubby Checker. Well, what if she had thought for a few more minutes? Maybe he would have been called something like obese chest, or arteriosclerotic backgammon, or oleaginous bingo. And now, Dick Clark presents oleaginous bingo. Oh, come on, baby, let's do rock with. Ooh. Hernia, sacroiliac, the Isles of Langerhans, the central cerebellum. I don't know what connection these have. You know, you can't have inspiration unless you've had a good shit first. It's true. If your colon is clogged up, you can't think worth a damn. Michelangelo, up on that damn thing, painting the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. Hell, he was in a perfect position to empty his bowels, you know. Clog, clog, clog. We'll make some burnt sienna out of that. That could be Judas. Anyway, hey. I think they should jazz up the Star Spangled Banner. I'm sure Francis Scott Key wouldn't mind. After all, Francis Scott Key was a one-hit wonder. Can you name anything else this man has ever written? No, just the Star Spangled Banner, with its discursive Johnsonian 17th century interminable clauses like, you know, oh say, hortatory subjunctive, can you see? fly the gonzo, right? What so proudly we hail as twilight's last gleaming, whose bride stripes and broad stars through the perilous night. What so, you know, I mean, it's like this sentence never ends. It jumps in at one end of the Atlantic and it emerges somewhere south of Barbados, you know? So I'm thinking maybe you could like chop and channel it, make it shorter, set it to a different music, a different arrangement. I don't know. Like you could start with show tunes like Harriet sure is bright out. Gosh, that flag is grand. Glad it's not still night out. Let's strike up the band. Or folk music. Hey, look at that flag. It's flopping in the morning. It's flopping in the evening. Brother, look at it wave. You know, or rap music. I was walking down the street and the noise of the fight. I was looking at the flag. It was red and blue and white. Or country and western. I'm drunk, I'm fired, I'm broke. The air is full of cannon smoke. My neck is red, my skin is white. And I've been blue all night. I'm feeling red, white, and blue. Looking right through and through. I'm red and white and blue. Just like the flag. Or Kurt Cobain. Spangled banner made of cheesecloth on the flagpole gets my rocks off. Yeah, I mean, any one of those. Perfectly good. Star Spangled Banner. Now, what's your least favorite classic rock and roll band?
REO.
What?
REO.
REO. God, someone should send those fuckers to Rio. You know what I'm saying? Like in a banana boat with some tarantulas to keep them company. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Good. The improvisatory section of the set is now over. Thank God. REO Speedwagon, that's who. REO Speedwagon. Boy, I'll tell you. Jefferson Starship, REO Speedwagon, the Cars. What an imagination these people have! How are we getting to the gig? We're taking the car. Oh, I know, a car band, the Cars! You know? It's like, geez. Why not supersonic rocket ship? Why not name your band after condiments? Horseradish! You know, or, I don't know. Hot honey mustard. Yeah, I won't sing anymore, I promise. And now I'd like to introduce you to my favorite radio station, WDYS, the dyslexic station. Here on WDYS, we play the hits 42 hours a year. All the number only hits. So, I'd like to do an impression for you. A Xerox machine. And now, my impression of Barnes Mabley singing Abraham, Martin, and John. Has anybody here seen my old friend Barnes? And now Kurt Cobain singing Abraham, Martin, and John. And now David Thomas of Perubu singing Abraham, Martin, and John. I'd like to come up with an 8-word slogan. Anybody have a subject? Classic rock. The day before yesterday's hits. In 5 minutes. Oh well. Fuck the improvisation. It's overrated.
Morale here? We got a break morale?
I'm gonna break for lunch. Then I'm gonna break your head. Do you want your eggs fried or scrambled, like your brains? Lengthy conversation occurring in the pointy doorway, my favorite part of the show. People are ruthless in their obliviousness. Ever notice this? Oh yeah. I'll just walk all over it. Whoa! You know what gets me about conspiracy theorists? 9 out of 10 conspiracy theorists have no jobs. They can't hold a job making flapjacks at the IHOP, but they can tell you to the very second who killed Kennedy and that, they fill out their employment form. It's like, hobbies? Proving Oswald was a patsy! That sort of thing. By the way, you call them flapjacks or griddle cakes? I call them arteriosclerosis on the grill. Oh, by the way, speaking of conspiracy theories, do you know what Mickey Mouse stands for? MIC, Military Industrial Complex. KEY, Keynesian Economic Yoke. MOUSC, more of United States engulfment. So, Disneyland is a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy to water down all of the great, gory, bloody, grim fairy tales and render them into this form of brain-dead cuteness. Nothing is more horrifying than interminable cuteness. That's my idea of hell. Hell is actually just our way of coping with the conditions in the grave. Primitive people thought that below the surface of the earth, it was like devils and volcanoes were basically little faucets that are coming out of hell and whatnot. But the Greeks thought that hell was just a cold, dreary, damp place, much like a cemetery. By the way, Philadelphia has been described as a cemetery with streetlights. Thought I'd throw that in. Oh, while we're on this tasteful subject, I'd like to tell you that I'm writing a book. It's called Die Rich Today. Well, I'm the wrong hero, and my life has been devoted to abolishing racism so that we can let the class warfare begin in earnest. And part of the reason this is so is because when I was growing up, I worked in a little place called the Class Warfare Shopping Mall. And every lunch break I'd go into the rich store. And the man behind the counter would say, "Pardon me, but where did you prep?" Huh? So I'd go into bourgeois. And the man behind the counter would say, "I'd like to help you, but I'm busy writing my novel, which is about 3 generations of my immigrant family. So come back in about 2 hours." And finally, I went into Proletarians Are Us. And the man behind the counter would say, "I'm not paid enough to wait on you, hand and foot." So that's what gave me the idea to fight for class warfare in our time. Hey, has anybody ever been to Transylvania? What's their biggest building? The Empire State Building? I just wanted to know. Just thought I'd throw that in. I'm very cautious. Mr. Scientist here, that's right. He would take the ring of the Nibelungen and say, "Now, we're 65% done with this." 11 out of 15, what's that? Quick, Mr. Mathematics. 77%. Ding! I can add just as fast as you. All right, 1/15. Let's see. 6 2/3 times 11, 66 20/3, which is 73.3333. Repeat. All right. So anyway, I'm very cautious in restaurants. I always make sure I sit facing the door with my back to the check. I like to think of myself as a New Englander because I'm only rude to strangers and to those I love, and for that matter, everybody else. Now, we're coming up to the grand finale here, so I would appreciate your undivided attention, you fucking amoeba! So, yes, all I am or ever hope to be, I owe to my mother and to the little birdie who tipped me off to bet on Al's Booger Red in the fifth at Wonderland. The fifth race, that is. You know, it's been said that nothing's more fun than a barrel of monkeys. Except maybe one monkey in a barrel, giving you that very special little smile. I've been all over this great country. From Pie Town, Arizona to Fiddlefuck, Arkansas. From Truth or Consequences, New Mexico to West Hell, Missouri. All over this country. From Lake Providence, Louisiana to Tunica, Mississippi. From Diddy-Wah-Diddy, South Carolina to Perth Amboy, New Jersey. From Chittenango, New York to Poke in the Eye with a Sharp Stick, West Virginia. From Chumley, Ohio to G, Tennessee. From Wilmerding, Pennsylvania to Toccoa, Georgia. And as far as I'm concerned, everything west of Yonkers and east of Riverside, California is just hazardous waste, frontier justice, and putrid aromas. Where crusty, filthy, diseased, lice-ridden hicks watch the grain elevator go up and down, and they twiddle their non-opposable thumbs all the livelong day, unless, of course, they've been blown off by defective whistling moon travelers, or in a shooting spree with one of 216 million legal handguns. So let's face it, the folks in this great land of ours are so lazy, they wouldn't holler suey if the hogs were eating them. And our elected officials are so greedy, they're like a starving dog on a gut wagon.
A what wagon?
A gut wagon.
Gut wagon.
What's a gut wagon? It's a wagon full of pig intestines. Let's face it, our guts are made of sugar candy. Our blood is made of foo-foo water. We've lost our sense of purpose because there are no more frontiers. So I say, let's go to Mars! Before the sky gets so blue that we can't see it anymore. But don't go there expecting to find life on Mars. There is no life on Mars. I killed them all for being too warlike. And I'll tell you something else that I've figured out. The moon is like capitalism. It's big, it's white, it sits there and does nothing, and it has a lot of pull. And the sun is like socialism. It's big, it's red, and it burns everybody. And now, to conclude, I'm going to tell you the key to life. The key to life. Follow your thread and run with it, even if it leads you all the way to hell. You keep on deforming pounding your opposable thumbs on gigantic thick strings. You, ditto, you. Read your back copies of Science magazine until the blood pours out of your eyes. You make every single minute of your working life into a repository for the problems of incredibly neurotic people. You! I like your deep voice. It's really good. You know, it's a really good voice for talking to auto mechanics. Here's the difference between a $20 repair job at an auto mechanic shop and a $316 repair job. Here's the $316 repair job. Excuse me, that little doohickey on the front of my car doesn't seem to be working right. Here's the $20 job. Well, I think it's the fucking struts, man. They're just like fucking blowing all around. My God is great. God, hallelujah. You gonna fix that damn thing or what, boy? Tell you what, I'll give you an extra $5 to do it right up now, okay? I'm on my lunch break. I'm busy whipping the slaves in the cotton field. I gotta get back there now. All right, you hear me now? Hey, what about that red sox, you know? Hey, man, let's rid of sox. Hey, this fucking thing on baseball stuff. I don't understand it, you know. You know, I'm so level-headed. I dribble tobacco juice out of both sides of my mouth. Here, son, have a chaw. Right here, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, so, 19, 19, 19, 19, now 19, now 19, 18, 18, now 18, now 18, 17, now 17, now 20, 15, 15. I tell you what, why don't you just fix the damn car for free and I won't knock up your sister, huh? What's that? You're going out with my sister? If you touch that little girl, I'll kill you! What's that? You're engaged? Oh, that's okay then. Oh, get her out of the house, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know. That's what it takes to be a man in this country. You just gotta be bluff and tough. You gotta give no quarter and ask for none. You gotta be willing to make a whole bunch of suckers dripping wet with your sweat and blood and vomit. You gotta leave a trail of semen all up and down the East Coast. I can't feel. Amazing.
That is genius.
Man, that's some fucking good water. Fucking A. Fucking H2O, man. I'm telling you, this is the best damn water I've ever tasted. Yeehaw! Yeehaw! Cause you know, you're never gonna get anywhere if you walk around going tweety and la-di-da. How's your mom? How's your pa? Can I help you, sir? Will you use me as your doormat, please? I'm begging you on bended knees. Please, please. Wake me, fuck me. Use me as your human ashtray, master. You'll never get anywhere doing that. But I'm trying. I'm the wrong hero. Thank you for making it. Come down for my next show. I don't need any stoned hippies.
Yes. Yes. Brilliant.
$5 for 25. Over a half hour doesn't get nothing.
Do you know how humiliating it is to work under such sweatshop conditions? How could you subject me to such an extraordinary display of Philistinism? I'm the wrong hero, and I'm not a genius. I'm just hard to get along with, that's all. I'm working on my unauthorized autobiography. It is an unpublishable bestseller. It's called The Lousy American Novel. And I can see the reviews right now. The New York Times. Never in my entire life have I been subjected to such an utter display of crass tastelessness or the Washington Post. The man who pulped the wood to make the pages which this novel was printed on ought to be put into the stockade for the rest of his natural-born existence for destroying our natural heritage in such a cruel and arbitrary fashion. The Boston Herald. I don't know, I kind of liked it. That's the way I see it. I'm the wrong hero. I am oxymoronically non-contradictory. I am a crypto-realist. I am an ascetic glutton. I am a proletarian nobleman. I am an altruistic hedonist, a Dionysian stoic, a materialist Taoist, a fighting Quaker, a fucking monk, a stupid genius. I was the dumbest genius in my class at Harvard. I'm a conservative anarchist, a radical centrist, a nihilistic animist. This is my most unforgettable performance, and you won't remember a thing when you leave this room. This is my masterpiece of premeditated improvisation. I am a much-traveled hermit. I've been from fiddlefuck Arkansas to bumfuck West Virginia. I've been from poking the eye with a sharp stick, Maryland, to Chinnaga, New York. I've been from Monongahela, Pennsylvania, to... Hi. How are you? Where are you from? Oh, I'm from Sweden, Maine. I'm glad to meet you now. Ipswich. Sounds like an eye sandwich. Anyway, I've been all over this great country, and let me tell you something. Everything west of Yonkers, New York, and everything east of Riverside, California is one vast wasteland full of flea-ridden, lice-infested, greasy, moronic hicks who have last year's motor oil under their fingernails, who watch the grain elevator go up and down, who probably blew both of their non-opposable thumbs off with whistling moon travelers on the 4th of July. That is, if they haven't blown them off with one of 216 million legal handguns. Ah, another country you heard from. Yeah, fight the cops. Yeah, I've been down south. You want me to tell you something about the Southerners? Well, I'll tell you right now. This guy's a Southerner. He is. Notice how he dresses in like aristocratic and yet shabby clothing? He's a Southerner! He's a Southerner! You notice how he's addicted to lost causes? He's a Southerner! A Southerner, I tell you! And let me tell you something about when Southerners get mad at you. When Southerners get mad at you, they talk to you like they're taking a shit. Oh, what do you think you're doing around here anyway, boy? Well, mister, I just wanted to tell you that your head was on fire. Why don't you mind your own business? What are you doing around here anyway, huh? Why don't you just get on out of here? We don't like your kind around here. And Midwesterners all talk like they're Huckleberry Hound. Excuse me, can I get to this town square? Oh, my darling, oh, my darling. Well, you walk past 3 sets of lights, and you go past the schoolyard, and then you go down where the nuclear waste dump used to be before they turned it into a playground for the kids at the school, and then you turn left and then right. Hey, what are you doing around here anyway, huh? So I've had it with this country. Anybody been to Purity Supreme lately? Right around the corner from here, Purity Supreme. Well, I'm opening up a little store called Filthy Midget Mart. Come on down to Filthy Midget Mart, right across from the Purity Supreme. Filthy Midget Mart. As you enter the door, the smell of rust and mildew means the extra savings that you're going to save because we don't clean our store. Is that a pile of compost over near the entrance, or is that our produce department? Careful with those pineapples. Some of them are real live hand grenades. Now, we don't sell milk or eggs or bread or other sissy stuff, but we do have the largest selection of chewing tobacco, snuff, and prosthetic jars on the East Coast. Only at Filthy Midget Mart. When you go through our checkout line, we don't ask you if you want paper or plastic. We just throw the shit at your head. That's why we have the fastest checkout lines in the business at Filthy Midget Mart. And now, this special offer. Buy 8,000 spent nuclear fuel rods and get a monkey's paw with a jewel clutched in it. Only at Filthy Midget Mart. And what about Toscanini's? You ever been to that place up on Main Street there? That ice cream place, I call it arteriosclerosis in a drum. You can call it whatever you want. Well, I go to the Toscanides one time and I was wasted. I was so wasted, down, wasted. One eye was the size of a pinprick, the other was the size of a dinner plate. I walked in there and I said to the woman, give me a triple-decker ice cream cone. I want 1 scoop ginger snap molasses, 1 scoop grapefruit sorbet, and let me see now, 1 scoop Mexico City car exhaust fume, paint thinner rag, dolphin-free tuna, spotted owl, beached whale, malted nuka, mastodon, crunch, koala bear, eucalyptus leaf. And don't give it to me in a cone. Give it to me in a monkey's paw. And she said, will that be for here or to go? And I'll tell you something else I like about Cambridge. Here's a guided tour of the leftover food here. That dog is tasty. Woof, woof.
Is that a piece of fat or gristle?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it was grissom. Fifth man on the moon. Oh, I could be eating Hitler's left arm. Be good, you know. It's not polite to eat on stage, but what can I do with this stuff? I'm a ball player. Yep, we went on strike all right. Yep, well, you know, I just couldn't make it on $15 million a year. You know, I'm batting .400 this year. Of course, I'm for the minor leagues, but hey, what do you want, man? Hey, hell, I ain't even been to 3rd grade, and I'm making 15 big ones a year. You know, I get pulled over by the police an awful lot, as you might have guessed. I have a little game I like to play with the Cambridge police. Whoops. It's called...
Spitting fat in your hand.
It's actually cheese. It's called Nice Victim, Mean Victim. Can I see your license and registration? Well, top of the morning to you, officer. Sure, what's a police captain like you were doing a pound in the beat? Why was I speeding? Well, I was pretending the accelerator was a policeman's head because I was sucking on a cube of LSD and I wanted to get home before I melted. Officer, coffee indoors, sitting and picking your ass in the Dunkin' Donuts at 4 in the morning. Sir? And he said, all right, we'll let it go this time. See it doesn't happen again. I'm going to need this prop for the next thing. It's called a bottle of ginger ale. Boy, I'll tell you guys, you're pretty blasé. East Coast. This one's called
10-minute warning.
Thank you. That'll give me enough time to work up the phlegm for my Johnny Most impression. Johnny Most, God rest his soul, was the Paganini of phlegm. This man could gurgle the Star-Spangled Banner in his sleep. And I was always wondering, what would it have been like if Johnny Most were on drugs? You know, not the 2 packs a day and the 5th of whiskey, but, you know, other less legal, more hazardous drugs like that.
Hey, Bill, the cat in the field, the cat in the field. Here comes the cow. The cow jumped over the moon. Now this is terrible. Humpty Dumpty, found down the wall. Ow, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Ah, there goes Hamilton. Hamilton fills and moves down the cabin fill. Ow, the cereals of the world were beginning to, they were beginning to smolder. Ow, here comes Nero. He fills and he diddles down the cold. This is terrible. This is terrible.
Well, let's take it one step further then. Ask not for whom the bell tolls.
Just announcing right now. I thought it blocked. I know what you guys.
Well, it should have been locked. Get out of here.
You're John. You're just serving the food now.
Oh, hi. I'm Mr. Oblivious. I'm just wandering right into the middle of a performance. I don't know what's going on. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. I'm glad to see you. Tell me how be you. And tell me one more thing. Are you from Dixie? Hooray for Dixie! I'd like to give the Disney characters drugs and open up a little place called the Manic Kingdom. Like,
Key to Sunshine.
thanks for the steroids, Uncle Walt.
You got
Or,
Thanks for the quiz.
and it's quite tasty. Or
thanks for the hash, Uncle Walt. The orchestra, our magic do the rest.
The gravy is in the form
Sit down.
of the cookie de Sunshine.
Well, yes, I just filled out my resume today. You know, I had it written on the cream-colored paper, the whole schmear, expensive printer, you know, micro dot, all that crap. And I wrote, this is my resume. Do you hear me? Mine! It's mine! Get your filthy hands off of it! Suck my drug-laced nipples, or filth! I got the interview. And at the interview, they threw some, you know, easy questions at me, like, what is your name? Marshmallow! But then they threw the hardball. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? That's a very good question. I'll have to think about that for a minute. Where do I see myself in 5 years? I think I've got it. I see me in a stretch limo with a foxy whore on either arm, drinking from a bottle of Courvoisier, my fists dripping with fuck you money, and you standing on a street corner, your greasy coat covered with snot and vomit, drinking Old Spice from a paper bag, shaking your fist at me and calling me a filthy monkey, as I leave you in a cloud of my dust. And they said, we weren't considering you for an entry-level position, but we think you have what it takes to be middle management. My house was built on an Indian burial ground. How do I know? Maybe it was the flint arrowheads, or maybe it was the peyote buttons in the shape of bingo markers that tipped me off. I'm not too sure. You know, I have nothing against gambling. I'm a gambler, but I'm not compulsive about it. I take one day off every week, Sunday, and I go to church so I can cover my bets with God. And I got a couple of subscriptions to a magazine. So I subscribe to Scientific American and Superstitious Caveman. I just got the latest issue. It was dated August 12th, 1 million BC. On the cover, fire! Bad! Sacrificing your eldest son to the sun god. Some do's and don'ts. And, are dinosaurs kosher? And now, friends, I'd like you to invite Jesus into your life. I like that. You have to invite Jesus into your life. I want you to invite Jesus into your life. I invite you. Jesus. Into my life. He was a pest. He left his face on all the towels. He walked up the shower nozzle. He gave away my coin collection. He came in naked and bleeding and said he had lost his robe in a dice game. So I told him to take a plane to California. We got on the plane and he got off it because the pilot was Pontius Pilate. So I said, how did you get to California? He said, oh, I flew there. But the jet stream whistled through the holes in my wrists. So Billy, what's your least favorite music? That's a stumper. No one's ever asked you that before, huh? Gee, I don't know.
Really soft drop?
Like what?
Oh,
Dr. Hook.
Dr. Hook.
that'll
Dr. Hook! Isn't he sort of like Dr. John Light, you know, for the weekend warrior? I've often thought of that, you know. What do you mean by really soft rock? You who like Liberace.
Well, that's not rock.
I know.
No,
That's chandelier music.
something softer than Billy Joel even.
Billy Joel.
Yeah,
You know
Billy Joel's really bad, yeah.
Billy Joel
Billy Joel's
is Harry Chapin
repulsive.
with the conscience leached out. You could take the fat, bloated body of the execrable Billy Joel and impale it on a fucking pike. You would see Harry Chapin's conscience leaching out of him. Slowly. Well, I don't want to go over my time limit. Perish forbid. I could tell you something. If you want to vote...
Oh, no, wrong hero.
Oh no! Please, more vulgarity, please. Well, John, how am I doing that old time limit?
18 minutes.
Oh, about 2 minutes
I got him
left.
at 20, man. I got him at 20.
You got me at 20. Well, I'll go by what he says here because I got some closing remarks to wind up. When I was in 7th grade, we used to listen to music during lunch hour in my high school, and half the students wanted to listen to More by Edwin Starr, and the other half wanted to listen to Blue Velvet by Bobby Vinn. And so they'd have a fight over the turntable. Every lunchtime it would sound something like 1, 2, she wore. What is it good for? Blue Velvet. That's all they know. And that's the way I feel now. So anyway, if you have any comments about the Wrong Heroes performance tonight, write them on a dollar bill and give them to me now! For I am the wrong hero, and you are beginning to annoy me, because you make me nervous, because you're evil, evil, evil.
Here, Francis. That was, in fact, only 90
Yeah, I know, but I'm worried about this. Retrenchment benefits.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Air Force, so it shouldn't be
Well, the
pretty trivial.
non-exempt people are gonna, medical things are gonna cost a lot more.
Really?
Yeah, they're gonna raise the rates for all the people.
All the plans?
Yeah, and,
But the university doesn't control that. It's a question of what the plan wants to charge.
no, but they do, because in fact, they're gonna raise their own rates. Well, I'm not sure, I can't, I don't know.
I have costs right now.
Yeah, but they're gonna, they do.
Yes, I will.
Regressive behavior.
Steve, my patience is getting very, very
What's that?
My patience is at an all-time low. I've got a lot of things going on.
That was third meeting,
Not intentionally. Well, I can see it's going to be one of those days where we're moving equipment while the show's actually going on, which is kind of cool. Turn it up or out? What are you talking about? What? What's wrong? What do you mean turn it off? Oh, am I bothering you? I'm sorry. Gee, I didn't mean it. God forbid I should actually intentionally bother somebody. Look at these two sturdy men.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, look at that. I wouldn't do that if I were you.
You want to go? Yeah.
This doesn't look good. Oh.
Yeah. Get this video. Yeah.
Well, anyway. Gosh. All of a sudden everybody's left. Cool. Well, there'll be no show today.
changed my mind. I will do the show. Aren't you happy? I can see you're just bursting with glee. I can tell, because you're like jumping up and down, waving, shooting off pistols, waving American flags, and throwing confetti, and handing me dollar bills. And I love all that, you know. It's a sign of appreciation, and you are all true gentlemen, and I appreciate it. And anyway, this segment of the show is called Detritus, which means a bunch of pulverized rocks, basically. And you know, it has been said that brevity is the soul of wit. And for the next half hour, I will explain why. Well, I'm the wrong hero, and you can call me the gold kryptonite in the realm of the Superman. That's interesting. You have your cap over your face. I would like to suggest that perhaps it constitutes an improvement, but it looks like you're doing asbestos removal, and you decided to like go a little overboard. You know, it's like yeah, that's cool. I like that. You know. Sort of makes you look like Opie on drugs, you know. Opie, why are you wearing your cap on your head? Well, that's where you're supposed to wear it, Pa. Yeah, but not over your face. Well, I left a little bit of heroin inside the cap, and I'm sort of trying to get every little last bit. You know, it's like, why do you think they call me Opie, Pa? You know, it's like, okay. There used to be this commercial that was for cocoa wheats. And it was like, cocoa wheats taste real good. You know, but we changed it to opium tastes real good. It's the natural born opium. You know, and so forth. So that's cool. That's what that reminds me of. Levels of situation. There are 6 levels of group interaction. The other 5 are self, other, group, society, and fantasy. Don't you wish you were as quick on your feet as me? I hate to brag or anything, but yeah. You know, I mean, like, I'm the best. I guess I'm just the most intelligent comedian in the universe, besides perhaps Phil Berliner.
But listen.
Listen now. I'm not now listening. Now listen. Now you listen to this. You wear a watch. Obviously, you're fixated on your own mortality. I will never make that mistake.
You're a nice person, but how are you wearing a funny dress on you?
It's not a funny dress. It's a Ralph Lauren. You crude man.
Wow,
insulting my attire. This is my uniform. I couldn't afford like a fancy uniform like Spider-Man or Superman. I didn't have a mother who sewed my garment out of my alien swaddling clothes. No, so I had to like improvise. I found it in a Goodwill shopping bag. You know, they leave them in the Goodwill even though they're not supposed to. And that's where I found it. So I just picked this up, and my fiancée made the mask, and I found the hat in the same pile of clothing, and that's the origin of my uniform. Now anyway, I wanted to say, I'm not one of those Americans who smiles in your face and says he's glad to see you when he's not. I don't smile, nor am I glad to see you, because I am the wrong hero. Thank you. Now die. I am surrounded by alienation. I am pertinently irrelevant. I am unintelligibly pellucid. I am enthusiastically lackadaisical, punctiliously negligent, omnicompetently maladroit, omnisciently obtuse, deliberately casual, indolently animated, and vehemently apathetic, and this is my irresponsible guarantee. I am utterly unspeakable. I am a profound conservative, an independent-minded liberal. I believe that reverberations of the temporary crisis will be immediately unresolved. Now, I want to know, what is it with Prometheus? I know, he's not Mookie Wilson, he's not Bucky Dent, he's not somebody everybody talks about every day. He's not even Boog Powell. No, Prometheus. He stole fire from the heavens and was punished by the angry gods. You'd think he would have stolen fire from hell. They had plenty of it to go around. Nobody would have missed it. But no, he had to like tempt fate. What did he team up with? Who's that guy that made the wings and flew up to heaven? Daedalus. He should have teamed up with Daedalus there, you know. Want to ride on my back, Prometheus? Sure, Daedalus. You know, we're melting. Well, at least I can grab some of this fire up here. So as you plunge into the ocean, I can give fire to mankind. We make a good team, Prometheus. Thanks, Daedalus. What was his father's name? Trick question. Gee, I don't know. The name of Daedalus' father for 500 points. Dun, 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 dun. Sisyphus. No, the myth of syphilis, yes. You can get it from toilet seats. No, the myth of Sisyphus. Pushing that rock up the hill, pushing that rock. It's sort of like doing stand-up comedy in a way. Once you get it to the top of the hill, people say, he thinks he's funny. He's really overrated. I'm not going to see him anymore. You know, when you start out, it's like, who does this guy think he is? And then when you make it, you have a guaranteed audience, but if you don't live up to their expectations, by doing the same stupid material that made you famous, then they say, this guy sucks, man. I want to go see Emo Phillips. Yeah, that kind of deal. So, it doesn't always work, fame and all that. Living in a fishbowl existence. What does a goldfish think when he sees people like hovering around his little bowl? It's like, go, bloop, 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 fleshy human things. Will I ever have any peas? You know, must be hard to be a goldfish. Hi, Lily. Is that Lily? It's Lily. She looks like a little bumblebee. I like the dress. It's really cool. I like the shirt too. It's nice. So it looks like you were run over by a Mack truck, kind of, a little. No, because, you know, the tire treads and all. I'm not insulting it. It's a very nice shirt. Can I have it? Does it have a little alligator on it? Or is it a crocodile? Just asking. Uh-oh. This might not be the most profitable thing to pursue here, heckling the audience and all. Oh, what the hell. Oh, I'm bringing the equipment in, oblivious to the fact that a show is on stage. I'm bringing the equipment in. Dum-de-dum-dum-dum. Just watch me push my little hand truck in. I'm bringing the equipment in. I'm bringing the equipment in. You know what I like people who walk up behind you and sing to you while you're doing something like, oh, well, it's moving day. Pack up your things and get away. You know, they theme what you're doing to an appropriate song. So it's like, I don't know what my theme song would be. Something like, he walks to himself and he talks to himself and no one cares for him. Now get out! You know, that kind of deal. So, you know what my most embarrassing moment was? When I was being crucified on the cross and the Roman centurion offered me a wine-soaked sponge and I had to admit that I was a recovering alcoholic. That was my most embarrassing moment. Hey, what's up, tired? You gotta get enough sleep. You can never make up that lost sleep. You know, I don't get this. They say you can never make up the lost sleep. If you stay awake all night for a whole week, does that mean that towards the end of your life, you're gonna be like, sleeping? Or what? I don't understand how this works out. You can never make up lost sleep. You mean you'll be chronically tired? Smoking robs the body of oxygen, especially if it's smoking crack. So watch it, you know. Yes, so I gotta tell you about my daddy. He's the reason I turned out the way I turned out. Because, you know, I'll tell you about my daddy. He had a terrible secret. He used to pretend to drink and curse and gamble, but in secret, he was praying to the Lord. I was listening to the radio on the way up here, and it was like one of those preachers. He was like saying, well, someone said to me, how can you know if Jesus really died on the cross for our sins if you weren't there when he died on the cross for our sins? Well, that was a preacher man who said that to me, so I knew he was kind of fun of me. So I said to him, well, how do you know what it's like to be a fish if you haven't actually caught a fish? Or how do you know what it's like to be a fisherman if you ain't a fish yourself? And if you're a doctor, and you know more about pregnancy than a pregnant woman, even though you ain't never been pregnant now. So, that was an amusing little sidelight. You know, you see these preachers on television, they're always like putting down the devil, but you never see Satanists on television asking for money to fight the Lord now, do you? It kind of gives you an idea of the priorities, you know. Look, can we please have some money to fight God? That's all we're asking for. Send $1, send $2, send $5, send $666 so we can fight the Lord. You know, so I'm a soldier in the army against the Lord. You have a whole sort of, you know, you can Satanize all aspects of pop culture and recombine everything and make a whole new subset of pop culture. I mean, some people in rock and roll have been trying to do this already. Like, well, you can have satanic country and western music. Like, look at that cowboy in the greasy hat. He don't believe in Satan, and that is that. You know, and that would be kind of cool. I mean, you could, I guess some people would say you were secularizing it, but it goes beyond merely secularizing it all the way. You turn the dial all the way to Satan. Turn your dial to Satan. You know, I just love to see some Satanists get up there and do the preaching act, but, you know, with Satan instead of the Lord. It's like, friends, do you know what the most important book in the Satanic Bible is? You know, that kind of thing. You know, knocking door to door. Hi, I'd like to talk to you about Satan. Yes. What about him? Oh, you're a believer too. Well, anyway, yet another unprofitable line to pursue, perhaps, but then again, I'll work on it. If you want to know who God prefers, men or cockroaches, just think of how hard it is to kill a cockroach. No? Oh, too easy, huh? Chemicals? Oh, I thought you meant the joke was easy. Oh, that's a relief. Okay, well, I've been studying types of security guards. You know, there's basically just 4 types of security guards. There's old pops, you know, sitting in there in that old chair. He's like welded to the chair. Armageddon could be going on down in the basement. Old Pops, the security guard, would be sitting there. Oh, pretty slow night. Say, what is it you want there, young Satan? Oh, you want to borrow some fire and brimstone? 3rd floor. Oh, the elevator's locked? I said the 3rd floor. You know, he never hears you. Can I use the bathroom? 1st floor. The bathroom's locked. I said 1st floor. You know, it's like, you know, he has a hearing problem or something, or he just doesn't want to get up from that seat that he's basically, you know, you do DNA testing on the seat and you find some of his DNA embedded into the wove there, because, you know, he's just sitting there. You know, does old Pop ever do anything? Why do they hire him? Well, it's cheaper than putting him in an old age home, I guess, so we just let him sit there. Yeah, he's a fixture around here. He's been in that seat for 15 years. Hasn't moved. And then there's the other types of security guards. There's the prole with the burning eyes. I used to fix race cars, you know. I was in the Army. I'm destined for better things than sitting here being a security guard and his eyes burn at you. And God forbid you should like ask him anything or you know, request that he do something. And it's like, you know, I make $4.75 an hour. So I'm not going to endanger my life for you. All right? Pay me some more money, and maybe I'll call the police. Okay? But otherwise, until they pay me more, you call the police. And there's the 3rd security type of security guard. Now this might be controversial, but I refer to him as the querulous foreigner. He doesn't want to run a 7-Eleven or drive a cab, so he's a security guard. It's the only job you can get if you're not a documented, you know, if you're an illegal alien. So it's like, and again, he has the same hearing problem as old Pops. He doesn't really understand what you're saying, but he acts as though he does, and that causes endless confusion. So it's like, excuse me, I'd like to leave this bag with you, and I'll be back in 20 minutes to pick it up. And in the meantime, someone's going to be calling me. It's a very important phone call, and I'd like you to take a message. Oh, yes, very good. Yes. Now, are you sure you understand his instructions? I'm leaving the bag. I'll be back in 20 minutes, and there'll be someone calling for me in the next 20 minutes. Oh, yes, very good. Of course, you get back, the bag is gone, he's gone, the door's locked, you know, and, you know, you can't do anything about it. And the 4th type of security guard Perhaps the most prevalent one, I call him Gomer. And that says it all. You know, it's like, excuse me, sir, but I think the 5th floor is on fire. Is that so? Well, there ain't no sense getting your undies in a bundle. Now, before I go on, I should say, I was a security guard, so I know the typology, okay? I got it down. This isn't just making fun of people less fortunate than myself gratuitously. No, I have a good reason to do it. Yes. Well, so, I figured out why men like women with big breasts.
Why?
So baby will have enough to eat. Doesn't that make sense? You have a kid. What if the mother's breasts aren't big enough to feed it? Then what? He grows up. He's maladjusted. Instead of playing football, he sits in his room reading books. You know, God forbid that should happen. You know, you want him to be a real meat eater. You want him to like get a rib and tear it off with his teeth, chop the bones in the corner. I'm gonna kill me a man today. I can kill a man 56 different ways with my bare hands. Well, son, you have to work on that. Make it 98 ways. You know, you need that. Because when you have a boy child, you need that. You need a boy child to protect the girl child that you're gonna have later. You know, it's like, you touched my sister, I'll kill you. Oh, you're engaged? Oh, that's okay. So that works out. Ever hear that book, Men are from Mars, Women are from Venus? You never heard of that book? It's on the New York Times bestseller list. Well, I think they're going to make an X-rated movie version called Venusian Sluts and Martian Jarheads. But then again, maybe they won't. See, I was going to make it, but that evokes a gigantic yawn from Phil Berliner. That's the criterion in the wrong hero's sense. If it evokes a gigantic yawn, from Phil Berliner, then it's not a Kiefer. Well, I was going to mention something about the difference between men's refrigerators and women's refrigerators. You know, you go into a woman's apartment, you open her refrigerator, what do you find in there? Powder puffs, petunias, an unopened pack of Marlboro Lights. But you open up a man's refrigerator, and what do you find? Dynamite, condoms, cigars, and a monkey's paw clutching a jewel. You know, that's what you find in a man's refrigerator. It's like dripping with like some unknown substance that you don't want to investigate too closely. So that's why men and women will never really get along perfectly well, because they're just like from different worlds, I guess. Now, here's when we get to the meat. All this stuff was just leading up to this like really cool part, you know. All that other stuff was bogus, man. That other stuff sucked, man. Hey, come on in. Good. I like it. I like to see people with less hair than me, because you know, makes me feel brawny. Here's those women in ads whose eyes silently plead with you not to embarrass them. It's like, you know, that Zima ad with, we want to order a beer. Oh, sorry, never heard of it. We'll get Zima. And there's that woman glaring at them like, please don't embarrass me. Please be cool. Don't embarrass me by ordering fucking brand X, you asshole! Get the good stuff! Damn it! Get the fucking good stuff! You son of a bitch! You cocksucker! I told you! My mother told me I could do what I could do! She said you were a cheap son of a bitch! So, you know, that kind of bugs me, because it implies that commodities are somehow the key to sexual success. And that's not true. Money is the key to sexual success, damn it. I mean, it doesn't matter what shit you buy. If your fists are dripping with fuck you money, you can live in a cardboard box and they wouldn't give a shit, you know? So forget, don't be fooled. Be fooled by cheap imitations, just as long as you got tons and tons of spending cash. And here's another thing. The people who say, unless you've been living in a cave for the last 3 years, you've heard about, pick one, O.J. Simpson, The Lion King, Or, you know, whatever.
Leave him alone.
Leave the Lion King alone? Why? It's in Africa? You got a vested interest there? Is that what they serve back here? Lion meat? They're like,
Don't make fun of the Lion King. We're having him for supper.
you know, it's like, unless you're living in a cave. Now, I want to say this very carefully. Devotees of unanimity punish heretics by marginalizing them as ignorant, while at the same time overlooking the fact that they themselves are brainwashed. So don't let people say, unless you've been living in a cave for the last 3 years, surely you've heard of Lena Wertmüller and her new feature-length film. You know, don't let those condescending sons of bitches tell you what you have to do. You tell them. You say, hey, look, dude, man, like, I'm not into this shit. You know, I could care less about your stupid, petty fascinations. So, and here's another thing. The one other thing that really bugs the shit out of me. Unless they're weird, your kids will eat it. It seems to me if they're weird, they'll eat it, you know? But I mean, it's like, unless they're weird, that means unless your kids have been kidnapped by elves and replaced with a twisted mutant freak, they will eat it, you know? It's like, they're preying on our residual medieval superstitions. Is that my son? Or the dwarves break into my apartment and replace him with a changeling, you know, with pointed teeth and yellow eyes, you know? That's my boy, all right. So, I don't know, yeah. Dracula would be disappointed if his kid didn't have pointed teeth and suck blood. So, you know, you basically, what your parents are, you eventually either become or deliberately fail to become. Now, you ever watch Wheel of Fortune? Every single time, just about every show, especially if the guy is from Texas or something like that, or Arkansas, or Missouri, he goes, big money, big money, you know? Just once I'd like to see Vanna White roll out a gigantic stone coin from the island of Yak. You know, like, here you go, maybe drop it on his, big money, big, ah! You know, that'd be so cool. I'd like that. Here's another thing. The one minority it's okay to pick on is hillbillies. You might not have noticed this, not having run into any hillbillies in the last 25 years, unless you saw the Hank Williams biography, you know. But it's like, so what I like to do is counteract this this prejudicial, non-politically correct attitude towards our Irish, Scottish, American, Appalachian Americans by positing a new stereotype, the erudite hillbilly. It would go like, yeah! Yeehaw actually comes from the ancient Chinese, and it is cognate with several Old English terms, specifically ye as in you, and haw as in, you know, hawthorn or haythorn. Whew, whew. You know what? Any of you guys ever hear of the Liars? Jeff Connolly lives on the 4th floor of my apartment. Someone came to me and said, hey, I'm going to go see the Liars tonight. You want to come? And I said, no thanks. I already have a baby of my own at home, you know, so I don't want to do that. But actually, I'm not mad at Jeff Connolly anymore, so I shouldn't tell this joke anymore, so I won't. I knew a harmonica player. He had a PhD, and he used to play in the key of E = MC squared. I'll tell you, he would send you to another land. He would. Yeah, I know. And I know. You don't have to tell me, I know, but Bosnia. You know why we're not in Bosnia? Because Bosnia sounds like a country full of Slavs. Really, it sounds, the name, it sounds like they're Slavs. Bosnia, I'm from Bosnia. You know, it's like John Belushi would be right at home there, you know? It's like, that's why we're, now if the place were called something like Goldland or Oil City, we'd be in there like that, you know? We'd be like, yeah! You know, like, all right, let's ride that A-bomb straight to the capital there. But no, it's Bosnia, you know. You know what pisses me off about liberals and conservatives? Liberals, instead of working hard to understand shit, they just parrot these ideological slogans. And conservatives, instead of working hard and researching to learn shit, they use complacency
as their ideology. Well, this is the way things have always been, so why not just leave them this way? You know, and the liberal will say something like, well, it's obvious that the archaic power structure, which is not viable in a sustainable society, has got to be altered by means of radical change. It's like, brilliant, fucking Einstein! How? Huh? You got any prescriptions? Dr. God? You know, but no, they don't, because they're lazy. They don't do their research. And you know, conservatives, they complain about political correctness and how liberals dominate the academy and shit. It's like, yeah, liberals dominate the universities, right? That's the real cutting edge of culture, ain't it? But conservatives dominate everything else. They got the money, they got the army, they got the government, they got everything. And they're saying, oh, the liberals, they're turning our universities into cesspools of political correctness. It's like, for God's sakes, give the poor fuckers one thing, okay? Leave them with that. No, we must dominate everything. The iron triangle of militarism and government and military contractors has got to sweep the country unanimously. You know, it's like, punish these heretics. Don't burn them at the stake, just ignore them. That's all. So, you know, basically it's like the conservatives bitch about how the liberals control stuff, and the liberals bitch about how the conservatives own everything. You know? So like, who's gonna win? I control it, but I own it. I control it, but I own it. I control it, I think, but I own it. You know, so. And everybody talks about the military-industrial complex, but nobody does anything about it. You ever notice this? I'm sure you have. Hey, how you doing? Hey, I like the fade, man. It's cool. Yeah, all right. It's Pittsburgh, dude. My town stinks. My town smells funny. But I'll tell you something. When I go hunting with my rifle, I can blow the head off a bunny because I'm Pittsburgh, dude. You know. Yeah, Pennsylvania, man. It's a great place. It's sort of like Pittsburgh is to Boston, like Portugal is to England. You know, it was once great, but that was about 400 years ago before anybody can remember it. Now that's the thing about Portugal. 400 years ago, man, Portugal was a happening place, sort of like Tokyo today. You know, really, those dudes was bopping, and hey, we got the best ships. We're gonna fuck up the Spanish Armada. We got a world empire. You fuckers are from nowhere. Now what? Now what is Portugal remembered for? Sweet bread and cheap red wine. And that gets me to thinking, 400 years from now, what's the United States going to be remembered for? Styrofoam? Plutonium? You know, what? You know, it's like, don't worry, they'll remember us. You know, that plutonium's still going to be around. That styrofoam is going to be there. So, don't worry. Now that the baseball season is effectively over, I guess, yeah, thank fucking God. Who wants to see a bunch of grown millionaires, like, swatting a goddamn ball? You know, like, we're supposed to care if these fuckers go on strike? I thought that, like, you know, people who worked for a living and, you know, needed every penny they made went on strike. Not, you know, people who were basically celebrities. Hey, I'm a celebrity, but I'm going on strike, so pretend like you don't know me anymore. Well, now that football is going to be taking over, I thought of a way to jazz up football.
Fuck breaking their backs with a sissy tackle. Ram a hand grenade down their fucking throats!
That's my prescription for jazzing up football. I robbed a 7-Eleven, and I got a 2-line notice in the Cambridge Chronicle, in the police blotter. But then I decided to loot an SNL, and I got a front page photograph on the Wall Street Journal. So, go figure. I had my name put on the mail preference service list so that people wouldn't send me stuff, junk mail anymore. They sold my name to a bunch of political action committees. So now I'm getting a higher class of junk mail. Instead of, you know, subscribe to Better Housekeeping, it's, you know, subscribe to the Pro-Plutonium League. Be a member of the Plutonium Triangle. You know, only $500 a week, and you can be one of the people who dictates plutonium policy in the third world. Yeah, that's great. Dump the plutonium on the Indian reservations. That's what they want to do. Isn't that cool? It's like, you know, 400 years ago we just killed them. Now we're going to contaminate their tribal lands for the next 10,000 years. I really did that. You know, I mean, the devil himself couldn't have thought of a more, you know, ironic punishment. But I got a job teaching extraterrestrials how to speak human language. It's called English as a First Language. You know, well, okay, it's time for me to dump down.
I have to dumb down to be socially acceptable.
You're reading a fucking book? You mean you're not going to see a movie? You're reading a fucking book? What good is that? What's that going to get you? Reading a book?
Thank you. I can only do it for so long, you know? Welcome to Boston, San Francisco by the Charles. You notice this, you walk in Cambridge, you see all these people with weird headdresses living in the hippie days, and it's like, hey, am I in San Francisco? Yeah, but with the smell of fish and oil refineries. That's all. Only difference. And the weather is about 20 degrees cooler. You know, so it's no big deal. But I wonder if there were, you know, we have a big crime problem around here. I wonder if there were colonial juvenile delinquents. Like, hey, nice ox cart, nice ox cart. Hey, look, the yoke. Let's go!
Look out for that Indian!
Don't help a good boy go bad. Please, don't let a good indentured servant go bad. Lock your ox, take the yoke. This has been a message from Cotton Mather and John Winthrop. So, okay, now, should I say one more very clever thing, 2 moderately clever things, or 3 really stupid things? It's up to you.
3 really stupid things.
All right. The moon is a giant ovary. That's why we shoot rockets at it.
Well, that's about all I have time for. Hello, I am not the wrong hero. You haven't been a very good audience. Hello.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Okay, anytime, no worries.